Welcome to the Investing Podcast presented by Tusk Media. The final bell has rung and the market is now closed. So let's move on to an audio and video recap with the Investing Happy Hour.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Investing Podcast. This is the Investing Happy Hour for Monday, beginning of the week, and it's the beginning of the month because it's August 1st, 2016. Happy to be here. Let's jump right into the market. Pretty uneventful day for the markets, but everything was down except for the NASDAQ. Dow was down 15 basis points, S&P down 13 basis points, NASDAQ up 43 basis points, so almost 0.5%. Strong day again for that tracking index. Global Dow down 29, gold up 15 bips. Oil closed down 3.73%, but that's a little bit of a rally from where it was in the middle of the day when we checked in with the stock market power lunch. It did close north of $40, so $40.05 per barrel. Avoided closing under 40 for the first time since April, so congrats, I guess, to oil. Still down 3.7% today, but that's less than being down 4%, which is where it was at lunchtime. We're going to take a minute here to celebrate. We are now over 50,000 total downloads and plays for the Investing Podcast. We're actually north of 51,000. So happy 51K. That's crazy. We've got a press release up on the Narwhal website, narwhalcapital.com/blog. If you want to check that out, I've got a blog post going up tomorrow with a little bit of personal reflection. But in the post, I talked about what our expectations were for these early phases of the podcast. And even though this is like episode 120 or something like that, we still view this very much as the early stages of the Investing Podcast and Tusk Media as a whole. But the initial goal was maybe we can get 10 or 15 clients to listen once a day. Maybe we can double that total across ourselves and our friends and family so we could get like 30 a day. If you do the math on what we were really shooting for early on by the number of business days we had, we thought we'd be at about 1,300 downloads right now. We're at 51,000, so pretty crazy. Thanks to you guys for being here. We're going to keep doing what we do. We're not going to rest on our laurels because our laurels are made of grit, shards of glass, rocks, and we don't want to cut up our hindquarters, so we're just going to keep going with this. Netflix up 3.4% today. Strong day for Netflix. Lots of reports of a lot of insider purchasing. So insiders at Netflix are buying a lot of stock again, up 3.4%. GDP, we talked about this last week. GDP numbers came out, and we talked about how everybody puts so much stock into this really short-term number. Meanwhile, it's usually released with a simultaneous revision of a previous number. So it's kind of one of those things where the market tends to react to whatever the number is and simultaneously digest the fact that, hey, they're changing the previous number that the market's already reacted to. So it's a little bit questionable. I thought it was interesting. Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan, said this today. He said, I wouldn't overreact to short-term data. I'm not even sure, he says, that GDP data is actually that accurate anymore. So pretty interesting take from Jamie Dimon. I don't know that I disagree, but he also added that he would like for GDP growth to be higher. Kind of an interesting take there. It's kind of like saying I don't really believe in vampires, but I want to make sure I've got a silver bullet on me at all times. So not quite sure where he stands on that. He doesn't know if he believes in it, but he'd like GDP growth to be a little bit higher, north of 2%. Hey, wouldn't we all? Last story for the day, Pokemon Go, the story that doesn't die. Pretty crazy. New York is now banning sex offenders from playing Pokemon Go. That's just kind of bizarre. They don't want sex offenders using Pokemon Go as a way to go after children. Again, I think that's something we can all agree on. I think we are all very anti-sex offender here at the Investing Podcast, but that probably means some of our listeners are going to be leaving us soon. So long to the New York-based sex offenders listening to the Investing Podcast. We appreciate you being here. It's been a good run, but you're going to have to find somewhere else to listen to podcasts about Pokemon, and you're going to have to find a new hobby altogether. So good luck to you out there. We're going to be back tomorrow morning with the morning market mimosa. We're going to hit you probably all 3 times tomorrow. Again, thanks for being here. 51,000, crazy number. We're going to give an update when we're at 56,000. Y'all have a great night.
Tusk Media is a subsidiary of Narwhal Capital Management. Ratings and reviews of Tusk Media content are not to be construed as endorsements of opinions, analysis, or services offered by Tusk or its parent company. The opinions and predictions shared here are professional beliefs at the time of publication. We are not under duress from any of the corporate entities mentioned. This is not a solicitation to take any particular action. Although we are investment advisors, this information should not be considered investment, legal, or tax advice. We strive to be as impartial, insightful, and accurate as possible. We base our opinions, analysis, and calculations on information we believe to be reliable, but we cannot guarantee its accuracy. We can, however, guarantee that our opinions will sometimes be flat out wrong due to a variety of factors. Employees and clients of Narwhal Capital Management may or may not hold positions in the securities detailed and may or may not hold these positions in the future. A full list of all securities purchased, sold, or held during the 12 months preceding the date of this publication can be provided upon request. Unless otherwise noted, all data accessed via MarketWatch or the Bloomberg terminal. Past performance does not guarantee future results. A copy of Narwhal's Form ADV is available at the SEC's website, www.advisorinfo.sec.gov, or from Narwhal upon written request.